This is from someone, okay. I was playing Restaurant Fractalist with a friend. We'd take turns. Sometimes he would be on the keyboard, I'd be on the joystick. Keyboard is where the speed controls were, and opening the airlock, turning on and off the shields, things like that. Other times we'd switch. Anyway, the first time a Jaggy jumped up on us, I was on the joystick and he was on the keyboard. It was just the perfect setting too. About 11 or 12 at night, all the lights off, speakers up loud, and the computer connected to a nice big 36-inch TV. So we landed to pick up one of the pilots, but we can't see him because the ship's nose is at an odd angle. The footsteps come up, and my friend hits the key to open the door, but he hits the wrong key, so the door doesn't open. Then all of a sudden, boom, the big green gremlin-looking thing jumps up and starts banging on the ship's window. I tell you, we about jumped out of our skins. So a second or two later, I'm going, shields, shields, hit the shields. My friend is still kind of glazed over. Then the Jaggy punched through the window, and the game was over. I don't think we played the game again for about half an hour or so. We sat and talked about it for a while. I couldn't believe the game actually did that. That was awesome. This kind of stuff. Oh, it scared the hell out of us, but it was really cool. One of the most memorable moments in all my video gaming as a kid. The next couple of games, I think we must have roasted about a dozen pilots. Both my friend and I were very trigger happy on that shield key. We'd light up the shields even if we thought that this guy might be an alien. And one time, I actually roasted the ace, the pilot with a purple helmet. You get extra points if you pick up the ace. My friend was like, "You idiot, that was the ace!" So, I got more, but that's good. So, where'd the name of the monsters? I'm calling them the Jaggies. Jaggy or Jaggies. Well, the games group was really the poor cousin of the computer division. I mean, we were part of the division. We were kind of these guys playing with those tiny toy computers off in the corner. You know, they got millions of colors, 16 million colors, as many as they needed. We got 4 to 8 colors. We could trick the computer so you get more than 4 to 8 on the screen, but it was really it was about 8 on a scan line. It was really about the limit the Atari could do. So their big thing at the time was called anti-aliasing, which is pretty predominant now. It's pretty much everyone. I don't know if you even know about it because it's in all games right now. But it's a technique to remove the jaggy lines from images. Picture image on the left is a line without any kind of anti-aliasing. You just see the pixel is either on or off, so it's very stair-stepped. The image on the right is a little smoother because we're filling in the gaps with pixels that kind of blend the background with the line colors, so you kind of make it appear to be a little bit more perfectly straight instead of jagged. Well, you can't do that with 4 or 8 colors on the screen. You need lots of colors to do anti-aliasing. We were very jealous. So since we couldn't do jagger removal through anti-aliasing, we did it by blowing them up. And I already told you about this part. Piracy. So we were going along pretty well. And the games, I think it was around the fall of 1983, the games were pretty close. They were in beta. There were just a few bugs we had to clean up. We put them on a floppy disk, both Rescue and Ballblaze, both the 2 games we're working on, and shipped them off to Atari Marketing for them to get a look at the games to figure out how to best sell them to the public. And these were unprotected disks. We didn't know about protected disks. We were naive. And 1 week later, the message boards, which equivalent to basically they're call-up online computers where you can download software. Everyone had a copy. The games had been uploaded to those message boards. They didn't have the final titles. I think it was either called Behind Jaggy Lines or Rescue Mission, and Ball Blazer was called Ball Blaster. So whenever anyone comes up to me in the past and says, I really loved your game Behind Jaggy Lines or Rescue Mission, we knew where they got the game. They hadn't bought it. So that was really devastating because we put in months of our 9 months working on the games, and they were basically anyone who wanted them, if they knew how to dial up a computer or get them from a friend, got them. So I'm sensitive to the issue of piracy. So we wanted to finish off the games, the packaging. We brought in Industrial Light and Magic. Industrial Light and Magic is the special effects division within Lucas, and as of that point, they had already gotten 5 Academy Awards for Star Wars Episode 4, Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Poltergeist, and Return of the Jedi, which they had finished production on. I hadn't gotten the award yet, but they would get it. And I guess they also got awards for Dragon Slayer, Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan, E.T., and Dark Crystal. Okay, so I guess those were maybe other films they worked on. I don't think they got awards for those. So we asked them to help us with the packaging. They built mottos and we did photo shoots. This is the cockpit we used for the cover of Rescue. Guys in the back, Lauren Peterson, Wesley Seeds, and Barbara Alfonso are all ILM staff. I think some of them are still there, actually. So they built this cockpit. You can see it's not the whole ship. You don't have to build the whole ship. And they built models for inside. This is the Valkyrie fighter, which you fly in the game. This was put together from existing model kits, off-the-shelf plastic models. They did a rotofoil for Ball Blazer on the lower left from scratch, although if you can look carefully along the bottom of it, you'll see what look like tank treads, like little notches. Well, those are tank treads from models of model tanks. And on the upper right corner is the saucer. You can see the picture for Ball Blazer. So that's the same model that was used to shoot that image. Now, what's funny about this model, again, you can see the tank treads right in this area here. This guy really likes it a lot. The guy who did this was Wesley. He had been stuck doing TIE fighters and X-Wings for 6 years, maybe even longer. And the opportunity to do a saucer, I figured this is this one chance while he's going to be at Lucas to do a saucer, because there weren't saucers in the Star Wars universe. So he put a lot of time into this. He took weeks to build this. It was about this big, and it was painted blue, and it was gorgeous. And here's how it appears in the game. Let's zoom in so you can see it here. There it is. Actually, one more place in the manual, you can see it in the lower left corner. So you can see all the detail he put into it was really for his own, his own edification. It wasn't really needed for the pictures. Let's talk a little bit about Easter eggs in these games. Everyone know what Easter eggs are? Yeah. I think they've evolved a bit to be something now where you have hidden things which are, the programmers put into a game that players are hopefully will either find on their own, or they'll put little hints out on the game in the game magazine so people can find them or whatever. Well, at the time we did them, they were primarily a way to get your name in the game. They weren't especially for hidden features as much as some way to get yourself known. And it's kind of like drawing your name in wet cement, wet concrete, so your name is immortalized forever. And in fact, Atari had a policy that they wouldn't let programmers or designers put their names in the games. So that, of course, meant that you had to do it some way without them finding out about it. So in Rescue, and I think in Ball Blazer, if you type the word author on the keyboard of the Atari 800, then our names show up in the bottom.